friends, welcome to my kitchen. I am Elizabeth with WholeFamilyHealthy.com. Thank you so much for joining me for my recipe for quinoa and chickpea salad. So what I have here is, it's actually black quinoa, and it tastes very similar to the regular quinoa, the white quinoa, or they do have a red quinoa. And what I do to make this is I take 1 cup of the dried quinoa. I rinse it really well in a colander, and then I put it in a pot with 2 cups of water, and I put a lid on it and bring it up to just to a boil. Once you get to the boiling point, go ahead and turn it down to low and set your timer for 15 minutes. Leave it alone for 15 minutes, and once that timer goes off, go ahead and take the lid off. Fluff it with a fork, and that's kind of what I was doing with this. You just fluff it with a fork and set it off the heat, and your quinoa is ready. And you can do all different things with the quinoa. You can make all kinds of different salads. So I have a cup of chickpeas, and I'm just going to set those aside for right now. But what else we have, I have right here a pepper. This one's a green pepper, and I just chopped it into little pieces. I have a red onion and then a yellow squash. You can use any color pepper you like: red, yellow, orange, green. They would all taste great in here. You can use different onions. You can use yellow onions, sweet onions, shallots, green onions, whatever you like. And then I added a yellow squash just for some extra nutrition. It doesn't take on, it takes on the flavors of the food. It doesn't really have its own bold flavor. So that's why I like to add zucchini or yellow squash to a lot of the dishes that I make. I have 2 cloves of garlic here. And then I just chopped up a nice handful of cilantro. I have some sea salt, black pepper, and avocado oil, and then my lemon. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just put some avocado oil in my pan here. And I just put a couple teaspoons in the pan, and that'll be for our peppers. So I'll go ahead and add the peppers to it and the onions. You can always preheat. I did not preheat. I just turned it on really quick. And then our squash. And I always throw them all over the place, so kind of make a mess. But get all of that in your pan. And then you also want to season it. So go ahead and season it well with your salt. And then we'll go ahead and get it seasoned with some pepper. There we go. So our veggies are ready. I'm just going to go ahead and let that go while I walk you through the other steps. So that's just coming up to temperature. I'm just going to give that a really quick stir, if I can get my words right. And I have the chickpeas set aside. I will throw those in the pan as well, just because I always keep my peas and my chickpeas and my beans, like black beans. I have kidney beans, white beans, in the freezer. I make a big batch of dried beans up at a time, and then I portion them out to a cup or 2 cups or however you would use them, and I keep them in the freezer. So number 1, they're a lot cheaper than buying canned. Number 2, you don't have to have the chemicals that you get from using aluminum cans. And I think they taste so much better. You don't have the added salt and those things from that you get in the canned beans. So I'm just going to give the veggies another little stir, and then we're going to move on to the lemon. So in the salad, we're going to use the juice of 1 lemon. But when I use anything citrus, so lemons, limes, oranges, anything like that, I always peel them first. And it's really easy to do. You just take a regular, vegetable peeler, and you just peel it just like this. And so you get these little thin strips of peel. 5 to 10 times, the peels contain 5 to 10 times the nutrients that's actually in the fruit. So I use this, and I'll put it in a cup of tea, or if I'm making iced tea, I'll put quite a few in a whole pot to make iced tea. I like to grind it up. I dry them out, and then I grind them up with a coffee grinder, and I put them, you can sprinkle them over fish or, you know, any of your recipes. I also put them in my laundry detergent. Sorry, it slipped my mind. So you can see the steam coming up from our veggies. They're cooking up pretty good now. You're going to get nice and soft. So you just want those to, you still want them to have a little bit of a crunch to them, but you know, get them nice and sauteed and kind of soft. So I'll let those go for a few more minutes. And so we have our lemon ready. Just going to take our bowl of quinoa, and I'd like to eyeball it, but I put about a 1/4 cup of avocado oil in our quinoa. And then I'm going to add the whole juice of all the juice of the lemon. You can get a strainer to use for your citrus, or I just like to use my hand. I don't like to do dishes, so the fewer the dishes I have, the better. So I just use that, and I put all the seeds into my hand. But you can also get, you know, the fancy juicers if you want to do that too. And then when you're done with, except for when you have a cut on your finger like I do, and when it really burns. So when you're, whoops, I'll show you with the other one. When you're done with the, that's getting really high up there for you, so I'll turn this one on so you can see. When you're done juicing your lemon, go ahead and save the actual rind of the lemon, and I like to use this for my cutting board. So when I'm done, you know, making this this meal, I'll go ahead and put some baking soda or salt on my cutting board. I'll sprinkle it around the whole cutting board, and then I use the rind of the lemon to clean it. So you can cut it and then open it up like this and just scrub away, and it's the best smells, and it really gets your cutting board nice and sanitized as well. So I dropped a seed in there. We're going to pull him out, and then you want to just season this up with some salt and pepper as well. So I'll go ahead and get a little bit of salt and pepper in there. We already have our avocado oil. Okay, our veggies are looking nice and sauteed. Let's get you a little look onto those. There we go. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is add our bowl of chickpeas. And you can see those were in the freezer. So I'm just going to go ahead and get those mixed up in there. Oh my goodness, the smells in here are amazing. Okay, so we have that going. And then I'm going to go ahead and grate in the garlic. So I just have the 2 cloves. And I just have my microplane here. And if you don't have a microplane, that's fine too. You can just chop it with a knife. You just want to chop it up pretty thin. And if you want it like a paste, you just add some salt to the chopped garlic, and then use the back of your knife to kind of put a little salt on it. Use the back of your knife to kind of get it all mushed up. And then, you know, if you don't have fresh garlic, you can always use garlic granules as well. That's one of my kind of go-tos for like salad dressings and things. And just watch your fingers on there because it is pretty sharp. I've lost some skin on these things. Okay, so there is our garlic, and we're just going to go ahead and mix that up really well. And we'll just let that go for another minute and kind of heat up those chickpeas. You just don't want to burn the garlic, so make sure you're paying attention to what's going on the stovetop. So now we have our lemon and our avocado oil, some salt and pepper in here. I'm going to go ahead and add the chopped up cilantro. And I'll just give it a toss. And the quinoa is still kind of warm, so it'll make the cilantro very fragrant. Okay. So There you go. There is our quinoa, and it's all ready for our mixture. And go ahead and give that another stir and see where we're at. All right. This looks awesome and smells delicious. And you can really kind of play with the ingredients, you know. If you're not a big pepper fan, you can leave that out and replace it with something else, or just leave it out altogether. So we have this already, and all I'm going to do is just add it to our quinoa. And then the warm vegetables on there will make the cilantro really fragrant as well. And then when you're done, you know, when you're done adding everything, make sure to taste it and adjust your seasonings. You know, if you need some extra salt, you know, go ahead and salt it, but make sure you're using good salt. Use the good sea salt, and, you know, don't be afraid to season your food. You want it to taste good. And I think that's one of the biggest problems with food, is that sometimes it's under seasoned, you know, don't be afraid of good salts. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on a little plate so you can see what our finished product is. Oh my, yummy, yummy. Delicious. Well, I didn't have any ready, but you could have sprinkled some extra cilantro on top. So I'm going to go ahead and try a bite, but here is our finished product. There we go. Let's see. It's delicious. Thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen. Love and health, guys. Have a great day. Bye.